and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes and appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
Oh my God, are we being born?
This journal was supposed to be for you.
Are we getting ready to be born? I think we're getting ready to be born.
But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
Wait, what? We just got born.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Oh my God. So, for one, all those pictures that they were using obviously were real pictures, or pictures of, like, you know, the developers and stuff. Oh, the little kid in the bathtub, the kid at the computer. It's a lot of stuff going on in this story. It was a very short game. But I'm not gonna lie, that was like a very... They said us on average it was like 3 hours. And I feel like, yeah, we probably could have explored a little bit more. And I think I missed somebody. I think I missed a person on the branch somewhere. I think. I didn't really see anywhere else to go. But it seems like I remember there was maybe one more. But, like, for such a short... Yeah, for such a short game, that was super entertaining. I still don't understand. Like, so where does that leave everything? Like, what happened? Like, were they abused? And she said that, like... her stories were the reason that her kids died. So did those kids not exist? And it was just written? Like she's writing a book? I don't know. I don't know if I understand it completely. But I also feel like I don't have to. And I feel like I don't have to really try to overthink it or anything. But, like... Yeah, there was one that wasn't. He didn't have the death date next to his name on the door. Is there going to be a sequel? Because, I mean, obviously she didn't get to finish the story, and she said, "I'm sorry, I didn't get to finish the story. But this is, or it didn't turn out this way, or whatever. So this is where you come in, and the kid who's now grown up has come back to visit the house." Yo, you know what, Alex? No worries. You just missed a hell of a game, though, man. I mean, I'm over here like trying to play it cool and stuff, but like my eyes have been like watering, and I was kind of crying and shit through a couple of these scenes. So, but wow. The people that were like, "Yeah, you should play this game," and I kept putting it off, I was like, meh. And then when I was like, "Oh, it's only a 3-hour game," what could possibly be in it for a 3-hour game, right? Dude, this was a hell of a game. And even with all the exploring that we did, oh, so the missing character, you don't know, like, yeah, Milton. So Milton died in 2003. That's the only one that I didn't. And this whole like replay a story option, no way. No, I mean, unless it's gonna lead to, that's how I go to get to open that final person story or whatever, if I decide I want to do that. But man, there's no way I'm playing that baby in the bathtub story again. Like, it was fun and it was whimsical, and then it just like straight up tore me up inside. So she was Dawn? Is it? Or no, why Edith doesn't have a death date next to her either. It's good to see the man behind the voice. Yeah. I don't do webcam very often. I have the last 2 days though. I mean, my eyes are still watering. Like, I don't know, I doubt y'all can see that, but like, I'm just right, 2017. So yeah, I mean, and that was something that I caught early on at the beginning. Like, as I was looking around in first person, and I looked down and I was like, okay, either the person's like me and, they're kind of chunky, or she's pregnant. Like, I caught that at the very beginning. So, yeah, you were gripped the whole time? Dude, I didn't know what to expect. Like, everything that I've seen, I kind of knew that it was like a first person thing. I kind of knew that it was like a puzzle game kind of thing in a way, but it's not. It's just an interactive environment. It's basically like a little interactive novel. But it was done so well. Each story, each person's little individual story was told so well. I think I have to feel the worst, the baby in the bathtub aside, I feel the worst for Walter, because this is a guy who spent his entire life cooped up in a single room in a bomb shelter, which, to be fair, the condition that I suffer from, which is agoraphobia, sometimes makes it feel that way, where like you never want to go outside, and you just, but then one day he's just like, screw it, knock the wall down and go outside and immediately die. Like, he just walks out and gets hit by a freaking train. The swings were crazy too. The kid on the swing, and the heights, and like, dude, if you would have been here, I don't think you were here, Max, for Molly's story. Molly was so weird. She got sent to bed without dinner, became hungry, and then I don't know if it was her imagination or what was going on, but she turned into like different animals. She turned into a cat. She turned into an owl. She turned into a shark. And then she turned into like a sea monster, like a squid octopus, and was eating people. And then she crawled in her own house, got under the bed, and then turned back into herself, but said that you know as well as she does that as soon as the monster under the bed wakes up, that she was going to eat her because she was delicious. And she died at 10 years old. It never said why she died. It never said what the monster under the bed was. It never... But at the same time, like, the story part was so bizarre while being good at the same time that, like, you don't really care that you didn't understand it. She just kept eating. I felt so bad for her. She ate her hamster's food. She ended up eating like an entire tube of toothpaste just to try to get some food, and then she started having all that weird stuff. So I mean, she could have died from the poisoning from toothpaste. Because yes, if you eat toothpaste, it will poison and kill you. Read the label. But I have nothing else to say. This was a great game. I got this game for free, by the way. Epic Games. This was one of their free games. When they do the free games every Thursday, and this was one of the free games from like a year ago. And so I got it for free and was like, you know what? Let me give it a shot. And yesterday I was looking. I was like, you know, I might not do a very long stream tomorrow, and I kind of don't want to do, like, I just started the Dark Crystal Tactics, but that one's going to take a little while. And I was like, I just want to get in and do something that I can play from start to finish. And in one sitting, in one stream. And that was this. It was like 3 hours. I was like, well, what kind of game can it really be for 3 hours? I was expecting to play this game and talk bad about it. I was expecting to say, you know, it's an indie game, and dude, this game was awesome. Somebody actually used the apple pie recipe. It was there. It was there on the counter. It was a real recipe. Like, that was the kind of attention to detail. So it was like, what in the world? I liked it. I hope you guys liked it. I know you guys sat around and pretty much watched it. Grave Honor, I know you stayed from start to finish. Max, I know you stayed from the point that you got here until the game just finished. So I don't know. I guess if I wanted to be 100% completionist, I could go do the Milton storyline, but I just didn't know how to get there. It looked like the door for Milton was locked, like you're not supposed to know. The Lewis one, the guy working at the fish cannery while in his head he's playing a video game. That was some of the most unique kind of gameplay, because, like, so you're using this stick to grab a fish, move the fish over, cut its head off, and then push the fish into the cannery, right? And then this one, it starts off about this big on the screen, like, let's say over here. And this is like him walking through tunnels. Well, the more his imagination starts to take over, the bigger on the screen it gets, the bigger the map it is. And you're using this one to walk around and do all that stuff. And then it was like, at some point, he just zoned out so much that that's all there was. That's all there was left. He actually got on a conveyor belt and walked up and got his head cut off. Because in his mind, he was walking down the path in the kingdom in his mind to go get his crown, and he kneeled down to get his crown put on. Boom, guillotine. And that's why when you walked by his grave, like, in the scenes prior to that, there was a crown. Because I was like, what is that? Like, is it ashes or something? But, like, there was a crown sitting on top of his grave. Holy crap. I don't know what to do. I was like, I'm gonna shiny hunt after this. Like, as soon as this game is over, like, I'm gonna take a break and then come back and shiny hunt, because I got some eggs to hatch trying to get my cub chew. But, like, what? Yeah. And that's probably what I'll do. I'll probably just look up Milton's story, because we got everybody else. Well, we didn't get Kay, right? Right? So, but Kay and Ingeborg or Odin and Ingeborg were part of the same thing. So Kay may have been part of a story that we saw. I don't remember Sven either, kind of. but like they're not attached to the actual tree. The only one attached to the tree is Milton. I think Sven and Kay. I think Kay was the stepmom, right? They got when they got married. Um, and Sven was what, her Edie's brother or something. One of her, no, maybe. No, I know Calvin and Sam were her brothers. I don't even remember who Sven was. But anyway, I mean, kudos to the people that made this freaking game. Like, this was a good game. And Grant, to be fair, the Grantage, another streamer friend of mine that's here local, he played this game. I did not watch him play it. By the time I heard he was playing it and the time I actually got there to see it, he had already finished the game. And he was like, "Oh, dude, you need to play it." And I was just like, I'll get to it. So, but I'm glad I did. I'm glad I picked it up, and I'm glad I had gotten it back then to play today. But I am so glad that I chose to play this game today, because one, I just finished a whole game out of my backlog. Two, it was a great game. It also let me test out the limits on my graphic card, because I had that thing maxed out visually. Like, but yeah, thank you guys for joining me for that. I'm gonna upload this as a full gameplay video to YouTube, so the whole thing will be there if you want to go back and watch it. And I still might come back in a little while. It's almost 5 here. I still might come back in a little while and do some shiny hunting, just because. So I gave Grave Honor a Japanese Ditto. In case she wanted to do any kind of breeding at all, not even specifically shining, but just kind of breeding or whatever. And she has this little event that she's doing with some friends, so she was like, "I'm just gonna go make just do one egg, one hatch of a pumpkaboo for this event." She got a shiny on the first try. On the first egg. She actually sent me a text message saying that I was probably going to break up with her because of it. So we broke up for a few minutes last night, because that's just bullshit. I'm sorry. No, we didn't, but it was just the irony that she's not trying for a shiny and got a shiny on. So, I know, right? Like, isn't that crazy? So, anyway, I've got some eggs in my thing for my cub chew, which, I do want to get around to hatching at some point. But, and also, guys, normally I don't wear glasses. I'm wearing glasses because of the blue blocking for the screen. My eyes have been getting torn up, but I like them. I think they look stylish. And then when I get one on my first try too. Yeah, sure, no problem. I'll do that. Yesterday when I was playing Tactics, I was telling her, I said, you know what this is for? This is so that every time when I go to do something where it involves strategy, I get to push up on the middle of these glasses, you know, like in the animes. So, but yeah, thank you guys for sticking around and checking out the game. If you enjoyed it and you can find it somewhere, pick it up. It's worth it. I think even the replay value of it is there. If you decide that, like, after you play it and then might want to replay it, I think the value of it is there, even though you know what's going to happen. I can see myself playing it again at some point. Not like tomorrow or anything, but I could see playing it some other time. But I don't know. We'll see. I'll check you guys out later. And again, thanks for joining in and watching me play this game. I had a good time hanging out with you guys and sharing that with you. So I should see you again soon.